And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem in the Crypto episode 549. Today is Friday, February 21st, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between community and crypto Monday through Friday. And today's top stories: Sweden is testing its new central bank digital currency. Fidelity is still looking for Bitcoin mining engineers. Russia bans cryptocurrency payments once all Russian crypto owners identified. Bitcoin's Lightning Network found more centralized than expected by researchers, and Norwegian Air is set to allow crypto as a form of payment. But first and foremost, of course, let's take a look at those prices. Bitcoin's coming in today, $9,687, up 0.83%. Ethereum's $262.97, up 2.12%. Ripple's at 27 cents, up 1.17%. Bcash at $375, up 0.46%. Litecoin at $73, up 5.13%. And EOS at $4.10, up 2.95%. So everything is in the green, even though it's just a very small bounce back from yesterday. And of course, it remains to be seen what happens this weekend. Usually we see these prices drop, but we'll see what happens now. I mean, after this big dip the last couple of days, we might see a good pump coming on the weekend. And then Monday, we might fly back in here over 10,000 like we kind of have been doing, except for those dips that occur Sunday nights, Monday morning. So we'll see what happens, but I think we'll stay around the same range. I don't see anything crazy happening, but I don't know. What's your prediction? Let me know while the show's going on. Tommy Brown, what's up? Yes, early show, as I told people before, revolving schedule with myself and Bitcoin Zay, so we're trying to do the shows when we can, and that means there are going to be different times of the day, more than likely. What's going on, Christopher Lab? Cryptonomics, hello. All right, top story of the day. Sweden is testing its new central bank digital currency. That's right, CBDCs. First saw in an article at some point in 2017. We said it was an interesting buzzword. It'll be here to stay. And by and large, it is here to stay. It looks like the country of Sweden has begun testing e-krona, bringing it that much closer to the proper release of a central bank digital currency. The pilot program will be in operation for 1 year until February 2021. If and when the e-krona formally launches for use by the public, the idea is that this blockchain-powered currency would drive conventional payments and banking activities throughout the country. Instead of swiping a credit card or spending fiat currency, everyday transacting can move on to the blockchain. This is, I'm assuming they just literally ripped that out word from the press release, because that is exactly what all cryptocurrency does, not just the e-krona all of a sudden. But it looks like Sweden is the second country after Bahamas to unveil what would be a true working national cryptocurrency. Of course, Bahamas launched their CBDC program in December, and they plan to roll it out the second half of 2020 as well. So again, we got China doing it as well. I know Russia kind of talked about it, and the U.S. with Giancarlo is talking about doing that U.S. digital dollar as well. So this is here, people. It's quite official. I think in 2021 is when we will first see the unrolling of a public CBDC, possibly even late this year, depending on how aggressive this bull market takes off. This bull market takes off aggressively. We see Bitcoin hit 20K plus, and you can expect to see a CBDC this year. But a Bitcoin, the growth stalls like it has the last couple of years. And I say stalls relatively to the $20,000 mark. If that price movement stalls, then I think banks say, hey, we have another year to keep planning this thing out and keep testing it, and they bring it out in 2021. But the bottom line is two things. One, the war has been won, as I keep saying all the time. This war between crypto and blockchain and traditional banking is already over, people. Like, it's technology. It's a more superior technology. They can't get away from it. So the war has been won. And the second thing is, yes, CBDCs are here now. Again, not a fan of them, but it is a base hit to onboard people to cryptocurrency in general. And I think we are going to go full force with CBDCs. They're going to look at Sweden, the Bahamas as those testing grounds, maybe even another smaller country before, again, finally the U.S., Russia, or China finally says, hey, we have our own as well. So be on the lookout for this. CBDCs are going to be a real thing, which actually only encourages the growth of stablecoins as well. As you talk about onboarding and offboarding stuff, I'm sure there will be some digital dollars or CBDCs that says, hey, these are the only stable coins we accept to trade your money in, or only fiat currencies we accept. So be on the lookout for that. It's definitely the future. And as they say, the future is here. Cryptonomics said Reggie Middleton just posted a video today. He won't go away. LOL. I don't have anything against Reggie Middleton. So what was the video about? Was he talking about the lawsuit or what? What's going on, Leroy Forbes? Said, I'm surprised my Bahamian government jumped on the CBDC bandwagon so quickly. Hey, mine as well, right? P-Man Van, good morning. He said Bahamas are normally at least 3 years behind the U.S. regarding infrastructure and tech advancements. That's why I say I think it's actually like a testing ground. I wouldn't be surprised if there are bankers from the U.S. and the Bahamas right now basically hitting this pilot program and helping them figure it out because, again, testing ground. You want to do it somewhere close, somewhere you can monitor, with people you can trust. And like you said, Bahamas is right here next door to the U.S., and I think it will prove to be a valuable trusting ground if you were to take Bahamas, tourist areas, or any one of these smaller islands and implement a CBDC to see how the island or the region reacts to it before placing it in a country like the U.S. So we'll see how it looks. Appreciate that, Cryptonomics. Thanks. Yeah, he's sending over the Reggie Middleton interview. All right, Fidelity is still looking for Bitcoin mining engineers. That's right. I had to pull this story up because I know we have a lot of people that watch us that are into mining. And it looks like you have a new career ahead of you if you're interested. The Fidelity Center for Applied Technology, FCAT, is looking to find Bitcoin mining engineers for a new business opportunity. The proposal is coming from the team behind Fidelity Digital Asset Services, FDAS, the crypto trading arm of the financial giant. The recruit will support, and I'm sure, was it Fidelity that just bought E-Trade? I think they did just buy E-Trade. So again, you talk about their crypto arm, that is a big plus to it. The recruit will support Fidelity's mining operations, likely in reference to his partnership with Blockstream. The company was reported in June of 2019 to have at least 2 data centers from the Bitcoin developers. Looks like for the job description, the company is seeking a person with 3 to 5 years of experience in the developer operations or engineering role. The term is generally used to indicate engineers who bridge the gap between software and hardware, for example, by facilitating deployment of updates on servers. It's notable that the posting does not mention any requirements of previous mining work, only including one line about interest in researching topics related to Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining among desired skills. The potential recruit is, however, required to have previous experience in managing large hardware installations and associated tools. Advanced troubleshooting skills are also a strong preference. And it looks like this was reported to open as early as January 20th, but the company has not yet found a suitable recruit 1 month later. So again, for just looking at what they want to see, they basically say, hey, we want to make sure you already have some work experience with hardware installations, associated to software. I mean, honestly, if you work for Spectrum or AT&T and you hook up cable and internet boxes to people's homes with the router and all that good stuff, I'm over here looking at my router right now. Like, if you work with a router and you work with hooking up cable, that kind of falls in the line of this. All you need to know past that is more about Bitcoin and blockchain technology and how to implement it on similar types of hardware and software processes, right? So a lot of people are actually qualified for this job, whether they know it or not. And then again, for those who are the warriors who've been in our chat box for the last 3 years now, who've talked about mining and crypto. So like, you literally have 3 years of experience of almost daily talking about Bitcoin, Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin related topics, so on and so forth, plus your regular job if you are already a developer or a troubleshooter of hardware, of any type of software. I mean, this puts you in line for the job. So if you're interested, I will at least say shoot your shot, because with all of these cryptocurrency, blockchain, Bitcoin jobs, they're paying a lot of money because, as they said, 1 month later, they still can't find anyone to fill the role. And it kind of makes sense. In a lot of places where you see a Fidelity posting, LinkedIn, some of those job search sites, a lot of those people aren't into crypto right now. They're not into blockchain. They're not into Bitcoin. So that already gives you advantage, something to take a peek at. Again, that's Fidelity. Yeah, so good stuff there. Hopefully they find somebody, and hopefully we get one of our warriors in there. What's going on, Malik Howard? Let's see. Cryptonomics said, Dexter Hans Sr., what's going on? Cryptonomics said Reggie has yet to deliver on a product, and SEC lawsuit didn't help. I fell off from his project after he tried to market stable tokens via precious metals. Another bad carrot bars creation, carrot with a K. You are hilarious. Litecoin Leo, Reggie is a good guy. Government, not so much. Oh, man, we're going to have to get Reggie Middleton over here so we can get you all to talk to him. Leroy Forbes said, I actually think China is the one using it as a testing ground, talking about the CBDC. I'm with you. I think they are using it as a testing ground as well. So we have to pay attention. But speaking about China, international relations, it looks like Russia is back in the news, pulling a Chinese move. That's right. Russia bans cryptocurrency payments once all Russian crypto owners identified. This is crazy, people. It looks like the two Russian departments that have struggled to agree on their position on regulated cryptos have finally decided to ban it altogether. The Central Bank of Russia and Russia's Federal Security Service, the FSB, have imposed a ban on using cryptocurrencies as payments, according to a report from local news augmented reality platform Baza. But before agreeing, the two departments have previously contrasting views, with the central bank calling a ban on all things crypto and FSB open to regulation and legalization. And again, this was a stark contrast to what the country's new prime minister, Mikhail Mishustin, wanted last month, taxing cryptos. Quote, a decision was made following a meeting in the government to establish a ban on the issuance and use of cryptocurrencies as a means of payment. A letter from the deputy prime minister, Dmitry Chernyshenko, that was seen by Baza stated. It looks like the FSB is also open to exchanging cryptos for ruble or other fiat currencies, but only through specialized operators. That means that Russians can't buy a coffee from Starbucks in Russia, but they own some cryptos that can redeem them in fiat. And then they also say for those looking to cash out of the cryptos or even hold them will undergo some identification scrutiny, and failing to do so will result in administrative and even criminal liability imposed by the FSB. So working backwards. Basically, if you don't tell people or if you don't tell the Russian government that you have cryptocurrency that you're holding or that you plan on cashing out or that you do cash out, then I'm assuming though that administrative liability in the United States, that's a fine. So that's what I'm assuming it is. And in Russia, the administrative penalty is usually a fine, a ticket, citation. Is something that says, here's a warning, now give me your money. And the criminal liability, of course, is jail. It's prison, right? You want to transact in crypto, not tell us Russian government, you're going to jail. Going back some more, FSB is open to exchanging cryptos for ruble or other fiat currencies through specialized operators. That is what's going on in the United States right now. And this is what we're talking about. Specialized operators, only the good old boys exchanges, the Coinbases, the Geminis, those who are regulated and they're part of the government. Those are those specialized operators they're talking about. And again, exchanging cryptos for ruble or other fiat currencies. This is why I just stated about stable coins becoming more popular if we do see CBDCs take off. If they take off, it's really just a part of a money play. They want to make sure that they can pocket as much money as they can, right? That you can streamline all your money. In order to do that, you don't want to say, hey, we have this CBDC, this digital dollar you can use, and you can use any fiat currency, any crypto, any stable coin to buy it. No, we can't keep track of the money that way. The way you want to do it is say, hey, we have this CBDC, this digital dollar. You can buy it with American dollars, with euros, or whatever else, main things we take. Or you can buy it with these stable coins listed here, which of course would probably be Gemini stable coin. What's the Paxos? One of them have another one. So it'll be the stable coins that have already been vetted and regulated by the government. So that's essentially what Russia is saying here. They're open to exchanging cryptos for ruble or other fiat currencies. Again, there's probably gonna be a ruble, a dollar, maybe a yuan, a euro, like the bigger ones. But only through specialized operators, like as I said. And again, it's probably going to be specialized stable coins as well, or at least selected stable coins. So this is what I mean by all these countries are looking at each other. They're setting the same precedent from looking at each other. And literally just reading the news, you can kind of see a lot of the moves that governments are making, companies are making, and a lot of people in the space are making, and kind of put the points together. And that in turn, of course, will help your investment decisions, because for those who are on the fence about which direction crypto might be going as far as the price point of it. I told you all the story the other day about how someone bought the BNB coin when the market was going down and to hold their Bitcoin in that. Same thing with stable coins. If we see CBDCs are coming and that may have an impact on the overall market, at least short term, it might negatively impact the market. One of the things you may be able to do is identify one of those stable coins that will be used in conjunction with a CBDC and park your money into that at least until the volatility subsides. So something to consider. Let's see. Cryptonomics said cold storage is a must and VPNs too. You already know it, man. Sergeant Crypto, what's up? What's up? What's going on, Madam Crypto? All right. Bitcoin's Lightning Network found more centralized than expected by researchers. Looks like the Lightning Network's configuration is becoming increasingly centralized with multiple hubs being formed. This is a finding of a yet to be reviewed research paper released on preprint site ARXIV on February 7th. A team of academics from Switzerland, France, and Italy and Canada authored the paper. Jian Hong Lin and Kevin Primiserio conducted the analysis, while others, including Blockstream Incorporated researcher Christian Decker, designed the research. Now, it looks like the team gathered Lightning Network information for a period of 18 months from January 18th, 2018 to July 13th of 2019. Researchers then analyzed the payment network in terms of its node and wealth distribution. They discovered that basically, as this article says, that the nodes and the networks and distribution were extremely uneven, saying that some amounted to, as they use this Gini index, some amounts to 0.88, which corresponds to 10% of nodes holding 80% of Bitcoin. So I understand this. I understand the research they did. You can see more about this. This is on Cointelegraph here. And they basically show you that, hey, not only does this imply a degree of centralization, but as you see here, it could also be a target for so-called split attacks, a way to basically mess up the network. Right now, the current network is hosting more than 11,500 nodes with an average node capacity of $1,300 and a channel capacity of just under $240. The network had reached 10,000 nodes in September of 2019. So a couple things to note. First of which, since this research has come out, as you just saw, there has been over 1,500 nodes added to the network. And the second thing to note, which is even more important, and not to dilute their research. You know, great research, thank you. But this is fake news. This is FUD. This is a FUD piece, people. I hate to say it. The reason why it's fake news is because it's brand new. I keep telling you this. This is crazy. This is kind of like the same argument where people were saying, well, Bitcoin can't scale. The network's too congested. It's like, yeah, for the first time since its invention at this time, which would have been 2017. So like this first time in 8 years, it's had to scale at a very fast rate, which we weren't able to do, but the developers worked on it. It was a technical problem and they fixed it, right? I think this is the same thing. The Lightning Network is brand new. I mean, at this point, was it 2 years old, right? People don't know about Bitcoin, period. So if people don't even know about Bitcoin, for them to even know about the Lightning Network, is to think they would know about that is absurd. So my point is, the people who know about the Lightning Network are technically savvy individuals that have been in this space. This space is a very small space. So not a lot of people are already in it, and even fewer of those people decide to operate a Lightning node, right? And most of the people who operated the Lightning node early on were a lot of developers or a lot of people, again, with those technical abilities to go ahead and jump on it, because it was difficult the first few months. I mean, you had to know how to be, you basically had to be a developer. You had to know how to read some of the technical terms and the instructions and all that good stuff. You even had to understand some of the technical terms on YouTube, right? It wasn't easy for your average person. So my point is, let's say with this research, they just did 10,000 of the nodes. And again, they found what was they say, 10% of them control 80% of the Bitcoin of the nodes. Like, that's fair right now. It's brand new. That's fair. Again, this is the same way you can go back to Bitcoin when it first came out. The first 2 years, you would have said Bitcoin is centralized, right? Only a handful of people have it. I mean, when Bitcoin was first invented, it was really centralized. Satoshi Nakamoto was the only person who had any Bitcoin, right? So to me, this is one of those things where it's way too early to be doing any type of research on how centralized the Lightning Network is. Like, you have to give it at least another 5 to 7 years. And again, this hasn't been peer reviewed yet either. So the peer review might come back with the same sentiment as I have. But I think you have to give it at least another 5 to 7 years before you start to make, hey, this is centralized. It's 2 years old and no one knows how to use it, and even less people even know what it is. So I don't expect it to be decentralized. I don't expect it, I don't expect it to be distributed. I expect it to be centralized. I expect there to be a monopoly on some of the nodes. I expect this. It's brand new, and there are people. And not only is it brand new, there are in that small number of people who have Lightning nodes, there's even a smaller few who are better than the rest, which would create some type of monopoly for them, right? So this makes sense to me. Again, this is more of a fake news FUD piece, not to dilute the research. I just think it's too early to have that research because, again, it's like creating a new team, a new league, a new whatever, and then the first 5 people that come up, you say, well, it's centralized. It's only these 5 people are doing it. It's like, well, it just started at 9 o'clock. It's 9:02. Can we get to 9:30 first and then see who all comes to the party? You know, it's super early right now. So I say we wait to do this research again until a later date. Crypto blood in the house. Yes, CB News Network. Make sure you check them out. Yeah, I'm in early day. Got a long day. Got a lot of run around. I want to make sure I get a show in as well. And Crypto Blood, actually, people, he knows. I'm pretty sure CB knows Reggie Middleton, so this is a great resource. Crypto Blood, if you scroll up, I'm sure you'll see some of these Reggie Middleton comments. So he's a person who I know can speak on Reggie Middleton's project a lot better than I can. So it's about that time to get back on each other's show too, CB. So we got to talk about that. Let's see. Cryptonomics say, yeah, I haven't been hearing good stuff about Lightning. I remember when people were begging for that. Now we're seeing all this FUD about it. Weird. It is weird. I mean, again, I think it's one of those things where Lightning Network came out. It worked pretty well, right? A lot of people showed interest. But I also think it was one of those things where we thought of success before we went through the process. Like all companies, all everything, markets, we see it time and time again. It takes time, right? It's kind of like people who bought Bitcoin in 2017 and was like, I'm rich. Like, this is it. I did it. And then the bear market happens for 2 years, right? It's like, that's what happens. So I think it's the same thing with Lightning Network. It's like a sophomore slump. You talk about sports. You get rookies that come in and set all types of records and do great things. You're like, oh my God, this rookie will change the way we play the sport. And then their second or third year, they literally just fall off or they do terrible. And we might not hear from them again until their 5th or 6th year, right? I think this is the same thing when it comes to technology, projects, businesses, and so on and so forth. It's not that the Lightning Network has faltered. It's that it's only 2 years old. We expected a lot of it out of it. It came out doing great, but that doesn't mean it doesn't need to grow and mature just like every other market out there. So, I'll just take it as it being a very young product, a very immature market. Again, 5 to 7 years. Then I'll go back and look at some of the research on it. Sergeant Crypto said off topic, but did you see Reggie Middleton is back now with VGold, a coin to claim real precious metals? It's like buying a Bitcoin ETF. It's better to buy the underlying asset itself. So when it comes to a lot of stuff Reggie Middleton is doing, from my personal perspective, I don't think it's for retail investors. That's what we have to remember. I think he's being pigeonholed. I'm not sure if it's because he's an individual. You know me, I hate playing the race thing. I'm not sure if it's the race thing. I'm not sure what it is, but I do think he's being pigeonholed because, yes, some of the things he's doing aren't for the community per se, but neither is the things that JP Morgan is doing or Goldman Sachs is doing or the Gemini twins are doing, or Coinbase is doing, or Bittrex is doing. So that list goes on and on and on. The only difference is I'm using organization names and business names instead of individual names like Reggie Middleton. When you hear Reggie Middleton, you hear Veritasium, Reggie Middleton. You don't think about an actual company behind it, right? Whereas Brian Armstrong, you think Coinbase. Bill Shera, you think Bittrex. The Winklevoss twins, you think Gemini. Libra, you think Mark Zuckerberg. You get what I'm saying? So every other company out there, JP Morgan, you think Jamie the Dino Diamond, like every other company out there has that same person who's doing the same things as Reggie Middleton. The only difference is he is not insulating himself in the organization or company. He's the face of it himself, which is why he's getting a lot of that flack. Because as we've seen, especially when it comes to the government, SEC, IRS, if they can go after a person, that's what they rather do. They don't want to go after some Bitcoin. Who owns it? I don't know. We don't got time to figure it out. Oh, Veritasium, Reggie Middleton. All right, let's just go bring him in. You get what I'm saying? So it's easy to bring a person in. And again, I'm not sure about this new project, but what I will caution is trying to throw sticks and stones at them because he's doing things that might not be for a retail investor or for the community, but they actually are great markets when you talk about organizations, institutional investments, or some of these colleges and all their, I can't even think of the name right now, but basically all their money that they have stored away that they're willing to invest. All those type of investments aren't actually buying the underlying asset itself, as we tell people to. They are buying these ETFs. They are buying these VGOs and whatever other derivative on top of derivatives, because that's the market's traditional. People understand. The legacy market is derivatives on top of derivatives. No one's buying gold. They're buying a dollar. A dollar was supposed to be in place of gold, so you wouldn't have to carry it around, right? Before we got off the gold-backed standard. So it's the same thing. I just want to say that so we're not giving him too much of a hard time, because all he's doing is playing their game. And it looks like he's doing it just as good, as not better, as some of them. It's just that he's doing it by himself, so it's easy to go after him. Let's see. Cryptonomics said, Sergeant Crypto, show me the white paper. Until then, I can't take homie seriously. And then he said, oh, he don't like white papers. That's too funny. Come on, Cryptonomics. Cryptonomics also said, I like Reggie, but I'm going to square him and his ideals up. He can't be putting people in harm's way with their money. Again, I know you typed this before I started talking, but again, if you're going to say that, you have to say the same thing about Coinbase and the rest of them, because they're doing the same thing. Let's see. Last couple I see. Cryptonomics said, I can go create VGold on Waves right now. Damn, I already did. Listen, same thing with the exchanges. If the Binance exchange thing takes off, we all be able to create an exchange overnight, right? That doesn't mean Binance isn't a good exchange. Look, Cryptonomics is going crazy on them. All right, we definitely got to get Reggie Middleton on the show. If not, I know Crypto News Network definitely has them on. The CB News Network definitely has them on a lot too, so check that out. All right, last but not least, story of the day. Norwegian Air is set to allow crypto as a form of payment. Hey, good news story. Of course, want to end on that. This is probably like the third or fourth airline company that's doing this, and I wonder why, because it makes sense, right? Norwegian Air is set to allow customers to pay for flights using cryptocurrency, according to CoinDesk. TGoC Matheson, Norwegian Block Exchange (NBX) CEO and son-in-law of Borge Code. I can't pronounce none of these names. He's it looks like, look, the CEO of a exchange is a son-in-law of the CEO and founder of the airline Norwegian Air. There you have it. All right. He reportedly stated that his crypto trading platform has successfully developed payment infrastructure that will allow customers on Norwegian Air to purchase tickets with digital assets. So definitely a hand clap to that. It looks like TGoC Matheson revealed that everything is ready to go from he and his team's side, and NBX is aiming to roll out the new feature specifically to Norwegian customers sometimes later this year, with the possible launch in the spring. You talk about nepotism working. Oh my, that is it in the flesh. But that's what's up. Hey, one person had the product, the other person had the market. They put them together. It looks like it might work. Also, according to CoinDesk, it's still unclear which digital assets will be supported on NBX or for ticket payments. Norwegian Air previously revealed plans to integrate Bitcoin payments for fall of 2019, but TGoC Matheson told DN News this past summer, first the marketplace will be launched. Then NBX will make a payment solution for the airline so that airline customers can pay with virtual currency. NBX customers are given the opportunity to earn cash points on trades on the stock exchange, as well as on payments made through the payment solution NBX stock for the airline. So again, this would be pretty cool to see. Looks like the airline operates a fleet of about 170 aircraft. And then they made a comment about them being the greenest out there. Cool story to see. I'm glad to see this happens. Again, this will be what's a set precedent and be a case study of airlines accepting crypto payment. If this works for them, if they make money, if they tell everybody they make money, expect American Airlines, Delta, X, Y, and Z to follow toe in line. I'm not sure why airlines haven't already began to accept crypto as a form of payment. My only guess is the government, because again, it is literally as easy as having BitPay software installed on your POS's point of sale systems, whatever. And then from there, they can literally turn the Bitcoin you receive into cash immediately. So not sure why airlines don't do it more, but hopefully we see more of this happening. And hopefully for this partnership here, they decide to use Bitcoin and not some, oh, we decided to make our own Norwegian Air coin or whatever, right? I hope they just use Bitcoin or some other mainstream coin that's out there to actually get people to adopt it and use it, rather than look at it as it's kind of being like, okay, this is the new scam. We got the Norwegian coin coming in hot, right? So make sure you check that out. I can't wait to see what happens with that. And I would love to see more airlines and more places, of course, able to accept Bitcoin. I think that will make a lot of people's lives easier. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Cryptonomics said these companies accepting crypto know what time it is. It's how they can get in the game. I'd rather exchange crypto for a physical item, though, not an airline ticket. That's true. That is a good point. I'd rather exchange it for a physical item myself as well. But value is value. And yeah, I mean, these companies definitely know what time it is. As I keep saying, the war is over and they know it's too late to mine or buy an exchange. So like you said, they're like, hey, we'll accept it for airplane tickets in. I get what you're saying as well, as far as the airline actually wins that game. If they're giving you a seat on the plane for your Bitcoin, the airlines wins that game. So I'm with you there, Cryptonomics. I'd rather have a physical item as well, where you can be like, nah, this is at least something worth where I can resell it. You can't resell a ticket. You can resell Bitcoin though. So I'm with you on that. All right. Other than that, as always, thanks for watching, folks. That is the show for today. Make sure you smash that like and share. Smash that like and share. That means click on the like button and share this. There you go. Thank you. Like and share. Get that YouTube algorithm popping. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all Monday with some more crypto news. Cheers.